Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay, while others are also joining in, let's quickly, if you could introduce yourself, because a few of you would have joined directly for Power BI. So if you could let us know, like, what is that you are currently doing and why do you want to learn Power BI? Okay. So your name, if you're working, where are you working, and what kind of role you're into, and why do you want to learn Power BI? Yeah, go ahead, please, online participants.
Hi, Ajay this side. I'm here for the join Power BI just for the demo session. I want to know what exactly mean by Power BI. I'm not a corporate employee. I just
Oh,
have completed my advanced Excel class.
okay, good. Yeah, others.
Hello everyone, good morning. This is Reshma here. I have done my Masters of Business Administration and specialization of HR and Finance. I have nearly 10 plus years of experience in HR generalist role. And I just earlier, I worked with a few of the couple of the companies like engineering services company and also the apparel company called H&M. And now I'm just looking for a job and I just wanted to explore and upskill myself which is related to HR and Power BI as per the data that takes as per the preparing dashboards and all in the organization. I just wanted to upskill and I just want to get a job to Power BI. So I just wanted to learn Power BI.
Got it. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. This is Venkatesh.
Hi.
I'm experienced in Excel, but I want to upgrade my skills into Power BI. That's why I joined, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Sai Akshay. I'm working in Wells Fargo. I completed my SQL class and I'm here for Power BI.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Great, then thanks for all your introduction. I think we will have our offline participants also here joining us. Okay, fine. So before that, let's get started. So I'm Kishore and it's been 16 plus years I'm into this reporting and analytics, process automation, people management and all. So yeah, worked with different companies. I'm MCT from 2021, Microsoft Certified Trainer. I'm a PL300 Certified Power BI Data Analyst Associate. I work with different tools, right from Excel, SQL, macros, SQL Access, SAP Business Objects, Power BI, Tableau, ClickSense. Worked in different domains, US healthcare, revenue cycle management, IT assets analytics, and different domains. And also these are my certification badges. So I'm going to be the trainer for this particular batch. It's batch number B00664. And it is going to run Monday to Friday, every day, 9:30 to 11 o'clock. And this is going to run for about 20 days, and in which we'll be talking the fundamentals of SQL. Once again, I understand a few of you have completed SQL sessions, but for the data modeling purpose, that brush up is needed once again for you. And someone who is joining directly Power BI, it is recommended to have SQL knowledge. So we usually start our Power BI sessions with 2 SQL sessions. Okay, a couple of SQL sessions will be there at the beginning. In the next couple of days, we'll be talking about SQL only before entering into Power BI. The reason being, when we get into the Power BI data modeling, we'll have to understand a few of the SQL concepts also, right? So someone who completed SQL sessions, it's more like a refresher for you. But someone who is new, you will be learning more about primary key, foreign key, how the joins work in SQL, and the same thing, how it works in Power BI as relationships. We'll talk about all those things. Okay, so you don't need to worry even if you're directly joining Power BI, but our recommendation is always learn SQL also. Why? Because once you join a company, usually the data comes from a database, right? You can't expect every time a CSV file or an Excel file. So if your data is located inside a database, you should be able to retrieve the data from that. So definitely it is recommended to learn SQL. And before that, Excel knowledge is also needed. So someone is like very, very new to Excel, probably Power BI is not the right session for you. You will have to first complete your Excel sessions. Then only you can easily understand Power BI. But someone who has some fair understanding about Excel, like pivot table, VLOOKUP, conditional formatting, how to create the charts, what is a slicer. If you have that idea, then yeah, you're good to go. You can continue Power BI sessions. Okay. Yeah, so batch number B00664. Any information related to this, you can talk to front office. Just mention the batch number so that they can easily understand to avoid any confusion, because there are multiple parallel sessions, running here. So this batch number helps you to, easily get the material and the file access or video access and all. As soon as the session is over, maybe within a couple of hours, the video will be uploaded to YouTube, and from there you can watch that. Okay. So yeah, material will be uploaded to the Google Drive, and from there you can download whatever I'm showing on my screen, including all the presentations, data sets, and different things. You will get access to all these files. From there you can download. Okay. So let me just take you through why Power BI and what is that we can do, right? Okay. So introduction to Power BI. So someone who is very, very new also can easily understand what is Power BI. You just need to have some Excel knowledge enough. Okay. So what is Power BI? Why do we need it? How to create the reports? How to install Power BI desktop application? We'll cover all these points. And once our application is ready, we create one sample report to see how the view, of the report in Power BI desktop. We'll see that. And there is one very important concept called Power Query. This is our reporting level ETL tool, extract, transform, load. We'll take you through the different steps in Power Query, how to combine multiple Excel files, CSV files, different data sources, using grouping, appending, merging, removing the duplicates, unpivoting, pivoting the data. So many concepts are there, right? And the beauty of Power Query is you don't need to write any programs there, though it uses a language called mQuery language. Each and every step that you do, it will be automatically recorded in the background. So you don't need to worry about how the code is recorded. You just need to perform the step and you get the output. Okay. And once the data transformation is over, let me tell you why the data transformation is needed once again. The real-time data may not be in the suitable format to create a report. Right? We may be thinking in the real time, we get the ideal data set. No, we get the, very, very dirty data. So you can't directly use it for your reporting. What is that you need to do? You need to transform the data by doing different steps. Okay. And the data may be sometimes coming from a CSV file, sometimes coming from a SQL server, sometimes coming from a web page. You need to combine all of them into a single table and then create a report out of it. So this will take more time also if you want to do it manually in Excel, but with the help of Power Query, you can set up an automated process. Without using any coding, you can do that, right? So we'll do all those data ETL activity, the report level ETL activity using Power Query. And once that is done, we will load our data into Power BI data model. There we talk about how to create the relationship between the tables, hiding the tables, building the hierarchies, creating ad hoc tables, or sorting feature, setting up the data categories. So many things are there in the data modeling. This is also very, very important, because even though you load, very structured data, if your data model is not built correctly, then your reports will show incorrect numbers, something like Power BI visualization. When we get into this level, we'll be seeing some incorrect numbers when we, if our data model is built incorrectly, right? So we'll talk about that, what are the best fine-tuning techniques for a data model, and then how to bring that data onto the visuals. There are different types of visuals. There are standard visuals, custom visuals. In custom visuals, you have so many options: animated charts, word clouds, Sankey charts, infographics, so many different types of charts. Usually we see the standard charts, like column chart, bar chart, line chart, donut chart, pie chart, right, in Excel. But in Power BI, you have very, very powerful interactive charts, and you can also download the custom charts. Okay. Once the charts are created, slicing and dicing with the help of filters, slicers, setting up the parameters, drill down, drill up, right? Managing the interactions between the objects, nothing but the charts will do all these things. Yeah, creating a visual and working with it is like really easy. But to show those numbers onto the visuals, we need something called DAX, data analysis expressions. What is this data analysis expressions? It's a formula language that drives the entire Power BI report. So the formula language, okay, so here we go. In Excel, we have Excel formulas. In Power BI, we have DAX formulas. If someone is good with Excel formulas, they can do DAX formulas also. Because 65% of the formulas, they look very much similar. Syntax is also very much same. If you are good with Excel formulas, you can easily write DAX formulas also. There is no much complexity, but there are advanced DAX formulas are available, and there, yes, definitely we'll have to spend some time understanding them. But most of the formulas, they look like Excel formulas only. Whatever the Excel formulas you learned, like left, right, mid, trim, substitute, replace, all these functions are there in DAX also. Okay. So we'll discuss logical functions, aggregate functions, datetime functions, text function, mathematical functions, and there is one powerful filter function called calculate. It controls the filters. Okay. Very, very useful formula, and no surprise, I mean, I would be surprised if a report is created without a calculate function, because no way that you can create a report without this. So definitely we'll have to use it. Okay. And finally, publishing. So the whole idea behind implementing a Power BI report is to publish the report and make it available for others so that they can view the report from any place. Okay. That is the whole idea. So we'll create a Power BI service account, but for the Power BI service account, you need, kind of organizational email. Nothing but you cannot use your personal email like so-and-so at gmail.com, so-and-so at yahoo.com. These emails don't work. You need to use an organizational email, something like so-and-so at deloitte.com, so-and-so at png.com, so-and-so at realpage.com, something like that. Okay. So you need to have an email address like that, but you don't need to worry. We'll let you know how you can create your temp email account. With that, how to register on Power BI service, and then start exploring the options inside Power BI service also. So the Power BI service is a cloud version of Power BI. You can publish all your reports there. So that looks like this app.powerbi.com, and all the reports that you publish, they go on to the Power BI service, and from there you can view the report. Just you need a browser and you can view the report any place. You just need to connect to internet and you can view the reports. So if I need to open my last batch 646, and you see that different reports you can publish, and from there you can directly read the data at all the reports. You can switch between the maps, lines, right? What if the sales decreased by 20%, how the values look, and I want to clear the slicers, all of them, right? I want to see the map, and especially California only. I can get the details of California, right? Okay, California looks like this, and profit percentage is this, and I can go back. So you see that you just need a browser to interact with your report. So not only using a web browser, you can also create your mobile version of the reports, mobile dashboards we can create. We'll discuss all those things, how to create on the web and mobile, right? And There is one more very, very important concept called RLS. With the help of roles, we set up RLS, row level security. So using this row level security, you can control the report visibility. So a simple example would be currently, I'm looking at the sales report in B00646 as an administrator. So it's my admin account. So I can see everything, like all the regions data is present here. But I have a question. If you are an Excel user, you need to answer this. I can't show this entire data to the regional managers. Simple. There is a regional manager for West. Okay. West regional manager is Williams. And you need to share this report with Williams. And Williams should be able to see only West data. Okay. Let's talk about Excel example. You have one Excel report that has 4 regions data, Central, East, South, West. And you are sharing that report with West manager, who is Williams. And Williams should be able to see only West data. No other regions should be visible to Williams. What is it we do? How do we do that? How we can control Williams to see only West data?
You can
And
filter the pivot.
Correct, but
In
the
the
challenge
pivot,
is in the pivot table also, if you load the full data, pivot table will present all the regions data, right? It doesn't restrict Williams to see only
we
West.
can filter only West region and we can copy paste the data and
Right.
make the chart.
So, correct, yeah, that is correct, yeah. So what you need to do is at the data level itself, you need to filter only West, copy paste the data into some other report and then build your report. Right? So that is what we usually do. The report is already been created, then what is it we do, we delete the other 3 regions data, we save it as a West region copy and we share it with Williams, right? It's like there is a lot of maintenance activity if it is Excel, okay? So let me show you one interesting thing. It is the same report, sales performance report. Let me log in as one of the users using another browser because Chrome is already being used for my admin account. So here I try to log in with some other account, which is Pradeep account, okay? When Pradeep sees the same report, okay, workspace is same because Pradeep also belongs to my organization only, 646 sales performance report. This is the report. When Pradeep logs in, Pradeep will be able to see a different set of data. You see this report is same, sales performance report. As an admin, when I'm viewing this report, it is presenting all regions. But as Pradeep, one of the users of the account, when we are looking at it, Pradeep is able to see only East data. You know what? Why it is like this? It is because of the row level security. Okay, Pradeep is responsible for only the East, so it is showing only East. Okay, so what is this called? Row level security. You don't need to publish multiple reports. It's the same report for all of us, but when the admin logs in, admin sees a different set of data. Users, they log in basis on their roles and responsibilities. They see different set of data. It's like very easy to manage this by setting up a simple role. Okay. And this is possible in Power BI. In Excel, we don't have this kind of an option. So we also talk about that, how we can manage the users to see different set of data, though they belong to the same department, basis on their levels of access, we can control it, the visibility of the data, right? So that is roles. So this Power BI sessions, it covers, as I said, right, from the fundamentals of SQL and a few things that we definitely need to know before moving on to Power BI. Those SQL concepts will be covered for only a couple of days, okay? And then we'll move on to Power BI desktop. That is where we develop our reports. So we get the data, we transform the data, we build the data models, we create the visuals, we create the DAX. And then finally, Power BI service. This is where we publish the reports and we manage the roles. So SQL fundamentals, Power BI desktop, and Power BI service. So these 3 will help you to understand end-to-end process of Power BI. Okay. If you get an opportunity like a Power BI developer, you will be able to work with all of them. Okay. So this has SQL, Power BI Desktop and Power BI Service. Course contents wise, any questions, any doubts? Okay. All right. So let me take you through why we should learn Power BI. So how these reporting and data analyst roles they look. Okay. So let's say you want to create a report using Power BI. Okay. So if your data source is something like Excel, is easy. But if your data source is something like Microsoft SQL Server, that is where all your data is located, then definitely it is recommended to have some knowledge on SQL also, structured query language, because you need to write a query, get that query executed on the databases, and then get the required amount of data, and then create a report using Power BI, ClickView, Tableau, whatever it is. Okay. So understand this. You want to create a report using Power BI Desktop, and your data is available in a database. If you want to get the data from the database, you need to have some idea about SQL, structured query language. And we create a query, and that goes to the database, and it gets us the data, right? Once we get the data into Power BI kind of a reporting tool, then we can design, or we can create different types of visuals, and we can create the reports. Okay. So it is always recommended to have some idea about SQL. This will make us understand how the tables are created, how the keys help us to get the data together. You would have heard primary key, foreign key, very, very useful in terms of building the data models also, right? So we'll talk about all these things, and then we'll start creating the report. So bigger organizations, you find this data always in some database, okay, in some database. You can't expect always Excel or a PDF as your data source. Your data source may be a SQL database or Oracle database or MySQL database, right? So once you connect to that, start reading the data into Power BI or any other reporting tool and start building the reports. That is what we do, right? So most of you would have learned Excel already, right? But if any one of you very, very new, you don't even know what is Excel, what is advanced Excel, pivoting, slicers, charts and all. If you are very new to Excel itself, then my recommendation for you is first learn Excel, right? Directly going to Power BI is not a great idea, okay? You may be struggling. It's not that you can't learn it, but you will have to invest a lot of time understanding it. Because I sometimes give an example, like, use related DAX function is there, and it works very much similar to VLOOKUP in Excel. Yeah, well, I'm giving you one of the examples, okay? So someone who is already good with Excel VLOOKUP, they know what does it do, right? What does it do, VLOOKUP formula? Using a common value, it can fetch the data from some other table. Use this related function is there, related, okay? Related. So this related function does the same thing, like a VLOOKUP only, but you need a relationship there. So if you are good with Excel VLOOKUP, then understanding a related function is very easy. But if you are very new to Excel and you don't know what is VLOOKUP, what is a pivot table, then Power BI is not recommended to you. I understand most of the students, they get confused with this. There is a role called Power BI developer, right? Everyone thinks what, okay, what if I learn Power BI desktop or Power BI developer related course, then I can easily crack a job. But that's not the reality. I'll show you the designation may be Power BI developer, but the skills that, the company asks, let's see, Power BI jobs in Hyderabad. Okay. Something is there. Sanofi. Let's see. Okay, I can directly click, it seems. Okay. Role is Power BI developer. I'm just randomly opening when it was posted like 6 days ago, right? Power BI desktop, right? Data transformation, modeling, all those things that I just mentioned, right? Everything is there, but you will be surprised to see SQL, right? And also they are asking for data analyst associate, the PL300. I told you, right? I'm a Power BI certified data analyst associate. Yeah, they are asking for the certification also, right? Power Query, Power Pivot, DAX, all these things, Power BI service, all of them will be covered, right? And also, yeah, the certification would give more weightage. That is what they are asking for. Let me open any other. This is the lead position, right? Work from office, Power BI. Must have skills. Microsoft SQL Server. TSQL, right? Good knowledge on working with, ClickView, Tableau. I mean, it's just like an added advantage, right? You see, role is Power BI developer, but the kind of skills they are looking for is there, SQL is also there. You see that? Just now I discussed RLS, row level security, right? Let me take Accenture. No much information. You see that? Power BI developer, working knowledge in SQL, right? Azure SQL server or a normal SQL server, both of them are very much same. Power BI developer. Title is Power BI developer. Looking for the skills, Power BI, Excel, SQL. Right. So what I'm trying to tell you is learning directly Power BI can't fetch you much. You see this Power BI and right after that SQL. Right. You can take anything. Now what is there? What is that? Visualization specialist something. Right. Power BI. But the point is that definitely someone should have some idea about you see the CTL, OLAP, online analytical processing. We discussed this in SQL sessions, right? TCS, right? They are looking for DAX, any technical DAX, on-prem data gateway. We'll talk about gateways also, right? So different things are there. Data analyst to Power BI, Tableau, Genpact, Power BI. Power BI service, data gateway, we'll talk about that, DAX function, SAM query. You see that? See, what I'm trying to tell you is that you take any of these, whether they mention, they don't mention, but Excel and SQL skills are very much needed. Without these things, surviving in a Power BI role is not that easy. Because whatever the proof of concept we design before even getting into Power BI, we develop that in Excel only, because Excel interface and Power BI interface, we can easily, relate to those things, and the features also sound very much similar. Okay. So it is recommended to have Excel knowledge, right? When we get into the subject, I'll discuss what is this OLTP, OLAP. So definitely we should have some idea about what is OLAP and how the data engineering teams work and all. I'll discuss that as well. But in our day one session, I'll discuss that. Okay. So with that, I think you got some idea why I'm suggesting like having SQL and Excel knowledge is very much needed for Power BI. Directly learning Power BI is not going to help you. That is for sure, because you don't get any idea about how the SQL databases exist or how the Excel formulas are created, because it is very much important for us to write Excel formulas also sometimes, right? Fine then. So just now we discussed how our reporting roles look. And when we searched online, we understood that Power BI along with Excel and SQL will add more value. And that certification, certain companies, they also ask for PL300 certification. This particular course is designed in line with covering all the PL300 topics only. If you are looking for PL300 Microsoft Associate, Data Analyst Associate certification, let us know. We'll, schedule your exam and you can write the exam from us. Okay. You can take that exam from home or you can take that exam from a test center. Okay. So we'll let you know the process. We'll share enough material and we'll guide you to clear the certification. So certification is for 1000 marks, 700 is the cutoff. Okay, it's an online examination. As soon as you complete the test, the result will be announced. Okay, basis on the steps you performed. And moreover, this is not like a project-based certification. Okay, project-based certification is like you will have application interface there and you will have to perform the steps to get the score. But Power BI PL300 certification is not a project-based certification. You get MCQs, you get drag and drop options. So basically there won't be any Power BI interface. There will be question and options. You will have to understand those options and try to answer. That's it. There won't be any application. Okay. So that is why Power BI certification clearing it is kind of challenging. But yeah, whatever the material that we share and the guidance we provide, if you can follow that, you all can easily clear the certification also. Okay. Clear then. Right. Any questions so far? Right. So all these things will be shared with you. So we have, PDFs and the practicals for each and every topic. So we start with the installation guide and it goes to Power BI documentation. I mean, Power BI sign up documentation, how to use the different features of Power BI. All these things we'll discuss. Power BI is a free software. You all can install it. But when it comes to the registration, initially you don't need to register for the Power BI service. We'll let you know when to register, how to activate that account and all, right? So you don't need to worry about that. So installation part and helping you to, we'll help you to create your Power BI service account. So we'll take care of those two, okay? The next question comes like when we want to install any new software, what kind of machine configuration is needed? Right. Yeah, if you can have i5 with 8 GB, minimum I'm talking about, i5 with 8 GB is recommended. If you have i7, 16 GB, and that's all good. i5, 8 GB is recommended. Okay. But what if I have i3, 4 GB? You can also use it, but only one challenge is that i3, 4 GB runs very, very slow. It's not that you can't use it. You can use it, but only one challenge is that it, takes a lot of time to process. Okay. So recommendation is that. Okay. So now you know the machine configuration also. Installation and all, we'll do it on day one. Okay. We'll take you through the steps, how to install Power BI desktop and how to use it and how to create Power BI service account also will tell you. But at this point, it's okay. You no need to worry about it. And yeah, can anyone tell me why do we need to analyze the data? Why do we need to analyze the data?
For getting clear visualizations.
Okay. Any other? Why do we need to analyze the data?
Kind of business whether it is in loss or profit.
Okay. So basically, once we analyze the data, then only we'll understand what's going on in the business, right? So you can draw the insights from the data only once we analyze it. So this will help us in decision making, right? Each and every company, they have a lot of data now. Unless they analyze it, they can't find out what's happening in their business, right? So the types of analytics: descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive analytics, and prescriptive analytics. Descriptive analytics, it tells us what's happening in my business. So something like a few of you may be creating the reports like daily reports, weekly reports, monthly reports, quarterly reports. So all these reports are something like descriptive analytics. Let's say a daily report that you create, when the next day, right? Let's say if I want to create a report, I'll take Friday's data. Why? Because I want to understand what happened on Friday. So descriptive analytics, what happened or what's happening in the business. For this, we need some data. And with simple formulas and all, we can easily create the reports, okay, in descriptive analytics. Diagnostic analytics, why is it happening? Right? If you can find out what's happening, it is very for us to find out why is it happening. Let's say in one of the regions, the profit went too high, right? That is what your descriptive analytics showing. Then using diagnostic analytics, you can find out, okay, why is it happening? Okay. And the next one is predictive analytics. Predictive analytics is the one, what's likely to happen in the future, like in the down the line, next 6 months, okay, what's likely to happen? So for this, just not the historical data, you will have to consider other market, different factors that could affect your business. And also you will have to build a forecasting model using all these things. And this, this tells us what's likely to happen in future. Predictive analytics, predictions. The predictions may not be 100% accurate, but yes, they can get you the close results. Finally, prescriptive analytics. Okay, your predictive analytics are showing something. Then basis on that, what is that I need to do? Prescriptive analytics, right? Let's say down the line, in the next couple of years, your predictions are showing the AC. Let's say you are into AC manufacturing business. The AC's sales will increase. That's what your predictions are showing because of historical trend and the global warming and all that. So as you are into AC manufacturing business, so predictions, your predictive analytics are saying like the AC sales could increase by 15% when compared to the last year. Then definitely to get the benefit out of that situation, because you are an AC manufacturer, you will be producing more ACs, right? So predictive analytics and prescriptive analytics go hand in hand. So whatever the predictions, predictive analytics they show, based on that, what is that I need to do, right? In the prescriptive analytics, we'll do that. And if you look at the value and the complexity of these different things, descriptive analytics, what's happening? Anyone can easily say this. If you get some historical data and find out what's happening, right? But if you want to add a little more value, but the complexity is little more, right? Which is diagnostic analytics. So the complexity is more and the value also it adds more. Diagnostic analytics. So the diagnostic analytics, what do they say? Like, why is it happening? In this training program, you will be understanding these two, descriptive and diagnostic. Coming to the predictive and prescriptive, these things, just not only the data, not only the forecasting functions, you will have to have some domain knowledge also. Let's say I cannot become directly a banking predictive analyst. Why? Because it requires a lot of banking domain knowledge also. It depends on your domain, knowledge, right? So predictive and prescriptive, there are certain functions like the forecasting functions and all, you can implement them. But those numbers, to give a justification to that number, you need to have some domain knowledge also. Let's say you want to become a predictive analyst in insurance sector, you need to have some idea about insurance. What are the other competitors are there? What are the global trends in the insurance? So many things that you need to understand, right? So in this training program, you will learn both descriptive analytics and diagnostic analytics. You can easily achieve them. And most of the beginners, like 3-4 years experience, maybe up to 5-6 also, most of the people would be there in the first 2 levels only, descriptive and diagnostic, right? You will be learning both of them. Whatever the formulas are needed, each and everything is there as part of this course. And as part of data analysis, we also create the visuals. Very, very important. And most of the people, they struggle choosing the right type of visual. So we have a scientific approach, choosing the right type of visual, and I'll take you through. In Excel sessions also we'll discuss. Because Power BI is more about data visualization only. We'll spend some good amount of time understanding each and every visual, right? What type of visual to be used. And most of us, we get stuck here only. I have some data, but I don't know how to visualize it, or I don't know which type of visual is suitable for this situation. Right, we'll talk about all those different combinations, and if you can follow this guide, you can create best visuals using your data. Right, that is all okay. I understand, visualization, there is a guide and I'll follow, but why do I need to visualize the data? Why can't I simply go with a table like this? Even table also, I can easily find out what's happening, right? Why do I need to turn that into a visual? Can anyone answer this, please? Why the data visuals or data visualization is important for us?
Analyze data quickly.
Analyze the data quickly, okay. Others?
Will be more efficient. By looking it, we can tell that instead of checking in the tables.
By looking at the visualizations, we can make out under which department the profit is high and under which department the profit is low. We can easily make out.
Right. Even the tables also, we can easily look at them, right?
But tables,
Excel
each and
says
every
more
column,
than
we
the
have to look it. It comes to the chart, pie chart or the bar chart, whatever it is, in the figure wise, by looking at the visualization, we can easily make out and we can make see decisions also.
Okay. Let's do one thing. I always show this, okay? My business wants to understand how the profits are there by the region. We have a region column, we have the profit column, right? So I want to create a pivot. And it's like very easy to create a pivot table in Excel. In Power BI also, we do the same thing, simple drag and drop. Someone who is good with Excel pivoting, you know this, right? Profit by region. Profit is measure, region is a dimension, right? So profit is a measure. Let me just do a small modification there. Let me just put it into the general format. I don't want any format to be applied. And then put the region into the rows. You can see like this. If it is by the rows, it is by the columns. You can see like this. It is by the filter. If you want to filter a particular region, you can do that. But your business wants to see profit by region, right? And what they can do is, we usually prefer reading the data like this, vertically, right? Definitely not like this. Yes, sir. Of course, it's the same data, but horizontally present. But if you do it like this, it's very easy. If you do it like this, it is okay to read, but not so comfortable, right? Because we read things vertically, okay? Vertically, left to right. Right, okay. So the question comes, why do I need to create a pivot table? You need to create a pivot table because when you look at a large data set like this in the form of numbers, you can't actually find out what's happening across your regions, right? So profit, how is it doing and all. So the business gives you a requirement. The requirement is find out, the question I'll say only once, okay? Find out which, I'll give you only 5 seconds. Here's the question. Find out which region has the least profit. Time started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which region?
South.
Okay.
Central region.
Central. Okay. Let us hear it from others also.
South.
South. Okay. Why different answers? I understand. Someone would have spent okay, if you have completed our Excel course, the project sessions, you know the answer. Okay, or someone would have paid so much of attention to those numbers. That's how you figured out the correct answer. Right, here we go. Why different answer? Just only 5 regions there, right? And I gave you like 5 seconds time. Here's the point. Let me just visualize this data. And to visualize this data, I'll just keep the cursor on the pivot table any place. I'll go to insert. I'll take a chart. Now I'll give you 2 seconds. Which region? 1, 2. Which region has the least profit? You found? Which one? Which region has the least profit? Look at the
South.
chart. South.
South.
Right. You see this, the reason being, when we look at the numbers, you see there are decimals. So we thought like this is looking like a smaller number, but it's actually a decimal. If you observe this, this is 287,000 and this is 231,000. Because of the decimals, we were confused. Right? You got the point, right? So this is why the data visualization is important. If you are looking at the numbers, yeah, numbers, they're okay. But if you want to quickly analyze the data, it is always recommended to turn that into a chart or a visual, right? So that you can easily see the patterns, trends in the data, right? But if you just present the data in the form of numbers or tables like this, it's like really challenging to understand, okay? So it is scientifically proven also. Human mind can easily understand the pictures and colors better than the numbers and tables, right? So if you are presenting your data and the numbers and tables, like it's like really challenging to read, but if you turn that into a visual, anyone can easily understand this. Job opportunities, yeah, definitely still there in the market. For the data analyst, these are the most common skills needed. SQLs are for Excel, querying using SQL, Power BI, RDBMS, statistics and Python. Statistics and Python should be your next, target. And then dashboarding. So we'll learn all those things. I think a few of you have opted for Analytics Power Pack course, in which you have already completed Excel and SQL. Now you are attending here for Power BI. You got like all the required skills to attend. And few of the organizations, they may ask for Python also. It's like kind of at this point, it is like an optional thing. But going forward down the line, I think in the next 1-2 years, all the data analysts are expected to write Python programs also. I'll tell you why. When we have started our journey in data analytics or reporting, at that point in time, someone who knows some Excel and SAP Business Objects was enough. But later, they included SQL as part of our roles and responsibilities. And the trend, what we found also, if someone like a reporting analyst, okay, you're looking for a reporting analyst role, SQL skill is also asked. Later, they included a dashboarding tool, something like Tableau or ClickView or ClickSense, Power BI, different dashboarding tools are there. And now we see a trend, a few of the companies are asking for Python also, right? Any one programming language, not necessarily Python, but Python is most commonly and widely used. That's the reason Python they ask. But otherwise, if someone knows VBA programming should be fine. Okay. So all these skills are needed to become a data analyst, and a reasonable package for a fresher. What is Power BI? So it's like a combination of multiple things. Okay. It's a business intelligence tool or a self-service data analytics tool, right? Using simple drag and drop, you can create very powerful visuals, very powerful reports, right? And then once the report is available, you can publish it online, and so that end users can view the report from any place, using a laptop or a tab or mobile phone, anything. Right, so this has the software services, apps, connectors, the data connectors. Basically, it can connect to the different types of data, be it Excel or anything, SQL, CSV, PDFs, whatnot, or a web page. Right, you can connect and you can easily create very interactive visuals. So Power BI has these 4 important things in it. Power Query. One of those job descriptions also you found it, Power Query, right? Power Query is our report level ETL tool, extract, transform, load. I'll discuss in detail what is extract, transform, load. And then once the Power Query concepts are over, nothing but all the data cleanup and data transformations are over, then we'll move on to Power Pivot. This is for our data modeling. Okay, data modeling. This is where we create the relationships between the tables. So why we discuss, the SQL concepts before moving on to Power BI, the reason being in Power Pivot, in the data modeling, you need to understand what are the keys and how they can be connected. The schema designs also, what is a star schema, what is a snowflake schema, what is a primary key, what is a foreign key, and how to connect these things together so that the data can flow into a report, right? All these things we discuss. So that is the reason SQL is also very much needed for this. Right, in the data model, we do all these things as part of Power Pivot. Okay, and then Power View to create all our visuals and all, interactive visuals. And finally, once all the reports are ready, we publish them onto Power BI service. We have Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View, Power BI service, publish. Okay. These two are actually not new. Power Query and Power Pivot are there in Excel also. In 2010 itself, the Power Pivot was introduced in Excel. Okay. And then we moved on to Power Query, wherein we have the data transformation there. Okay. We will be creating a lot of data transformation flows there. Okay. So we'll discuss that. So these two are not new. Okay. They are available in Excel also. Just give me a second. Right. So Power Pivot is there from 2010 version of Excel. Power Query is from 2013 version of Excel. So earlier they were available as an add-ins, but now they are available as like part of Excel directly. If you are using 2016, you got Power Pivot and Power Query also. Someone who learns Power Query in Power BI, they can use the same Power Query in Excel also. The data transformations and all, they look very much similar, very much, with the same feature names. The interface also looks very same, right? The components of Power BI, we get the data from different sources. It could be a SQL server or a cloud-based, anything, any data source, and we build the reports using Power BI desktop. And this is the application we are going to use. And once the reports are created, we publish them onto Power BI service. Okay, it is a cloud version of Power BI. As I told you, the reports can be displayed or viewed here in Power BI service, whatever we develop in Power BI desktop. Once the Power BI, the reports are published onto Power BI service, you can view those reports using a laptop, a tab, or a mobile. So currently I'm using my laptop to view the reports online. Okay. But we also have something called Power BI data gateways. Okay, what is Power BI data gateway? Simple. Let's say you created a report and today it has got some data. Okay, it has got some data. And tomorrow the data changes. Yes or no? Daily the data gets updated, right? So yesterday You got some data. Today you will have some additional data, right? So when we need to reload the data, you don't need to do it manually. In normal reporting or the traditional reporting teams, every day what they do, they reload the data manually. And this will take some time. But you don't need to do that in Power BI. Why? Because the Power BI data gateways, they automatically refresh the data. If something changes, okay, that will be directly present on the reports. You don't need to manually refresh. Usually the reporting analysts and all who work with Excel, every day they create daily reports. What do? They refresh the reports, they refresh the formulas, they refresh the pivot tables and everything, and then they share the report, right? We don't need to do that. Power BI data gateway, and I'll also let you know how you can set up the data gateway, right? Of course, this is Power BI admin related task. We cover admin topics also. So that, once you are applying for a role, you can answer all these questions. What is an on-prem data gateway? What is a personal mode data gateway, right? How these things help us to automatically refresh the data. What is a cloud-based data source? What is on-prem data source? All these differences we'll talk about, so that you will understand how easily you can refresh the report so that end users can see the reports using their systems. Okay. We'll basically discuss the 6 stages in be it Excel or Power BI also. First, what is our first thing? Get data. Get data. The data can come from different sources: an on-prem SQL server or Azure SQL server like a cloud, or a spreadsheet, or a CSV, or a folder, or a PDF, whatever, or a web page. From there, we apply the Power Query to do the data transformation. The required data transformation will be done, and then after that, we build the data models. In the data modeling, we'll talk about how to create the relationships. And then we write the measures, DAX measures, data analysis expressions. Okay. So using the DAX, you can create very, very powerful measures like Excel formulas. They generate different outputs, right? Similarly, in Power BI, we have DAX. And then we go with reports. Okay. Reports in which you use the different types of visuals and all to create, right, a report. We set up the roles and RLS. What is the full form of RLS? RLS. Row
level
level
security.
security. Perfect. Row level security. So we'll let you know how you can set up 2 types of row level security: static and dynamic. We'll discuss both of them. Then finally, once we set up the RLS, we publish the report. Okay, we publish the report so that it will be available for others to read it. Right? Yeah. So getting the data, we all know. But in this Power BI sessions, we'll also show you how you can use SQL Server to get the data, not only from Excel or a CSV. From the SQL Server also you can get the data, or a web page you can get the data. So many techniques are there while getting the data. And in the data modeling, a few keys are needed. You need to understand them. DAX measures, they are for the formulas purpose, we create them. Using the DAX, we create 3 things: tables, columns, measures. Okay, we'll talk about them. Reports is all about visualizing our data, setting up the RLS, row level security, right? To control the users to see only their respective data, and finally publish. Prerequisites for Power BI, as we discussed, definitely excellent SQL knowledge is desirable. Okay. And basic knowledge of your operating your PC, like OS, the operating system. Working with Chrome, Edge, Firefox kind of browsers, internet connection. Right? Anyone here, let me check now. Anyone here with no Excel knowledge at all in this group? I understand you may want to, you get into data analyst role using Power BI as a Power BI developer or some role, but directly learning Power BI is not good for you. That is for sure. Some Excel knowledge is needed. If you all have some Excel knowledge, it's good. You can proceed with Power BI course. Otherwise, my recommendation, first complete Excel sessions. because whatever the concepts that you learn there, that will make you comfortable, working in a reporting kind of a role. But if you are directly joining Power BI, you may struggle. Okay. Most of us, we have questions on this Power BI and Tableau. Okay, why do I need to learn Power BI only? Why not Tableau? Yeah, you can learn Tableau also. Tableau also a great tool, no doubt about it. But there are certain things which make Power BI stand out, okay, which make Power BI play a very significant role in the market. When it comes to the interface, as most of us are MS Office users, Excel, Word, and all, we find Power BI's interface also looks very much similar. Okay. As a result, we find it is easy for us to learn Power BI because Tableau interface is little different again. Okay. So we can easily learn Power BI because the interface also looks very much similar. And the other thing, why companies, prefer Power BI, because of the licensing fee. If you are using like a single user, lifetime free. Power BI, the version that we download, it is lifetime for free. You don't need to pay any rupee. But if it is a pro license, it is about $10 per month. And we also have premium capacity or PPU, premium per user. Okay, that is little expensive, but the big companies, only the big companies will go for it. Okay. Small companies and all, they go with a $10 per month. But when it comes to Tableau, is like, of course, I think they have revised the pricing. As per the documentation, it is showing $35 per month. But as a free user also, you can only use 15 days, if I'm not wrong. Recently, they modified that number of days also. And after that, again, you will have to buy the license with the same email account if you want to use. But Power BI is for free. Okay. Custom visuals and all, it's like very easy to download and use custom visuals. Okay, I'll show you one example. I'll quickly build one report. Data storage completely cloud-based, and here it is cloud and server-based, an on-prem server-based. So basically, once you publish all your reports, it will be available online only. Okay. Data connectors in both the places, almost all the connectors are available. Good for medium-sized data, good for large data. So Tableau has this advantage. Some TBs of data it can handle, but here it is only a few GBs of data. Established in 2015, April 2015, their first commercial edition is released, and Tableau is like available from 2003 onwards. Almost like a good 22 years old, company. I mean, in terms of the visualization tool, but Power BI is just only like a good 10 years, you can say. Very easy to develop and deploy. And when it comes to Tableau, it requires a little learning. In Power BI, we use DAX. In Tableau, we use MDX. It is suitable for 1 GB. Okay, 1 GB file. So 1 GB data itself so huge actually, but it can even go for a bigger data set, Tableau. That is where actually Tableau has a little edge over Power BI. But with the PPU, the premium per user subscription, you can go up to 10 GB. 10 GB is way too high actually, okay? But the licensing fee is expensive. As a pro user, you can only publish up to 1 GB data. And then the other thing is environment. Power BI is only available in Windows environment, and Tableau works in both Windows and Mac. Macintosh, available in Apple products operating system is Mac, right? But Power BI is only designed for Windows, Power BI desktop. So you cannot develop the reports using Mac. If any one of you have Apple, okay, with Mac operating system, my recommendation for you, you will have to have a secondary operating system in the same computer, which is the Windows operating system. And in the Windows operating system, you can install Power BI and you can use it. But Mac doesn't support Power BI. Okay, because there is no version of Power BI for Mac. Right? Both the tools are great, no doubt. But because I come from strong Microsoft tools background, so I suggest Power BI. Someone is coming from Tableau, they say that, okay, Tableau is great. So both of them, they can, they do best things only. Of course, this is little outdated, but even if you look at the Gartner analytics for business intelligence, the quadrant shows Microsoft standing at the top. right? Now, Salesforce is with, Tableau is with Salesforce. Salesforce acquired Tableau. Okay, that's there in the second place, and ClickView or ClickSense is here. So these three are the leaders in the data visualization. You have so many other tools also. Okay, you have Google, you have Domo, you have other few tools. But yeah, these three are the leaders in the business intelligence, okay, platforms. So we'll take you through all these things as part of our day one session. Why Power BI, what all things you can expect, how you can download the custom visuals, and what is that natural language querying. I'd like to quickly create a report and show you how easy it is to design a report, right? For that, I'll use Power BI. Blank report. I'll take you through. I'm just showing you this. I want to directly read the data from a web page. You see that? And that web page link, I already kept in our material itself. So whatever the links are needed, everything is there as part of our material. You can directly download from there. Paste it. As connected to that COVID cases, basically. Load it. You see, it is reading the data directly from a web page. Earlier, you learned how to copy paste the data from one Excel to other Excel, but it's not like that. Power BI can read the data from any source, right? From the WHO COVID-19 global daily data, it is now loading. Right? Now, I want to understand what are the total cases. In our data, we have what? New cases, right? I want to find out what is the total new cases. Even if you are not from the reporting background, you no need to worry. There is something called NLQ, the natural language querying. Just do a double click on the report canvas. It will bring up the Q&A. I'll ask total new cases. You see that? These are the total number of new cases. Okay. I want to find out total new cases by country. You see that? USA has got these many cases, China, and the next place is India. But I'm not happy the way I'm showing like bars, okay? I want to show on a map, right? On a map. You see that? So by asking simple English questions, it can get you this output. Got the point? You don't need to come from strong reporting background also to create something like this, right? So just ask a question, it will get you that output, okay? And I want to see the, what is that? You have the WHO region, right? So I want to see the composition of each WHO region, how the cases are coming, okay? So I want to see a pie chart, okay? Total new cases by WHO region, okay? And it shows in the bar chart, but I want to see in a pie. That's it, right? You see how easy it is to create these reports or visuals with simple questions. And by the way, These are like interactive visuals. If I click India, only India cases are available. And India is part of this. You see that? Here is a region, okay, as per WHO. And you see, from that region, most of the part is contributed from India only, because India number of cases are around like, what, 45 crore. Is it true? 4 crore 50 lakh, sorry. 4 crore 50 lakh cases reported from India, right? From that region. So, if I select this, China is part of WPR region. And again, there also majority of the cases are reported from China only. So what is this region? This region is Europe. So there also you have like a good number of cases. So it's like very easy to interact with them and see the results there. And once you click there, all other visuals will be automatically filtered. So this is the advantage with Power BI reports, okay? You can easily do the drill downs and all. But it is not there in Excel. You will have to definitely depend on slicers only to select any of the values, right? Not only that, you can also get custom visuals. It's like very easy. Just go there, get me more visuals. There is something called animated bar chart race. Let me show you how this works. Add it. I'll add this on a new sheet, new page. You would have seen these kind of visuals many places. Country is this. Value is the cumulative cases I'll take. Daily, how the cases are increasing. Period is this. I'll just change that to date reported. And I want to see the top 15. That's it. You see that? You would have seen, these kind of things like day by day values are moving, right? The country started reporting the cases. Initially, China was only the one reporting the cases, but other country cases were like very little. But you see the movement of the cases, China started reporting more number of cases, and we started getting the cases from other countries as well, right? You see that? You would have seen these things, the market share of a particular company, how it has, progressed over other, companies, and how it crossed the other country values and all. Sorry, other company values and all. How the what is that? How the UPI payments are the digital payments across the globe, right? From which country, how much value of money is transferred using digital payments and all, right? These kind of things, you see that? Same, like day by day, the cases increasing, right? Italy. So after China reaching around 80,000, either they stopped reporting or probably they would have controlled it. But other countries started suffering, right? You see Italy and then Spain, right? And then United States of America. India was nowhere in the picture that point in time, right? When these guys reported around a good lakhs of cases. You would have seen these kind of things, right? On LinkedIn or Facebook. You can also create it. Hardly takes any 2 minutes to configure this kind of a chart, right? Understood? There are so many other types of charts also. India is here now with a few thousands, but the numbers increased very, very few days, right? Yeah. So you can configure it little carefully so that it runs and shows all the values there, right? Not only the standard visuals with the help of Q&A, the question and answers, you can also download the custom visuals like this. Done? Right. So we'll discuss all these topics in detail, how you can get the data, why Power BI and how to download. So this one we will do tomorrow. Okay. Right. Any questions so far about the course content? What is that you are going to learn? Right? How the course is going to run? And the batch number I already told you, it is B00664. Okay. If you want any kind of additional information regarding this, just reach out to the front office, tell the batch number, they will help you out. By the way, we'll do a couple of projects also as part of this training. Okay. So we'll build a couple of dashboards. We build the company brand domain, brand template. Okay. Yeah, so many things are there. That project work will do that. And there is a course and project. We'll give you the data set and instructions document you need to follow and you need to complete that report. Yeah. Perfect. Questions?
So
Yeah.
after Excel, do I need to go with Power BI or SQL?
Yeah, that is what I was telling. I'll be covering SQL concepts before Power BI. Okay. So if you can learn entire SQL is also great, but joining after Excel, joining Power BI is okay because we are going to cover SQL fundamentals also.
Okay, I had told that I'm not from the IT or corporate, but now I'm thinking to trying to apply for the IT. That is why came here to complete the course.
Right. Yeah. So SQL topics will be there for the first 2 days. We can't skip SQL, but someone who completed complete SQL sessions, you will have a better understanding. But for others, you shouldn't get any confusion in between, right? So that's the reason we cover SQL sessions also. The
Okay,
first 2 days of Power BI usually starts with SQL again. It's more like a brusher for others. If someone is new to SQL, you will understand how the SQL concepts help us to build the data models.
okay.
Yeah. Any questions? Okay, one more thing. If anyone is interested to go for Microsoft Power BI certification, well in advance, just inform the front office because they will have to do certain things for you because we don't expect everyone to go for the certification. So there are certain steps that we need to do for you, whosoever is going for the certification. So just let them know well in advance if you're looking for the certification also. Okay. So that will take care of the end-to-end process for you. Great then. So it's great interacting with you all and we'll be doing our first session tomorrow. Okay. So SQL concepts will be covered. So please, practice and be ready. Of course, there is nothing much for today, but yeah, from tomorrow onwards, I request you to spend some time, right? Allocate some time for Power BI practice. Yep. Great then. So thanks everyone for attending today and I'll see you all tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.